All right. It's Saturday, the day after a holiday. It's a 3-day weekend, folks. You know what that means. We're in vacation mode. I'm Aaron. Welcome to the Half Hour of Horror. With me, as always, it's my co-host. Oh, hey, it's Chase. What's happening, man?
Hey, Aaron, how are you doing? We're in vacation mode. It's going to be a good
big
show
time
today.
Vacation mode. Wearing my vacation shirt. Yeah, man.
Damn,
You're
I should have
chopping
got
up
my
a little
vacation shirt.
Ooh,
Wait, can you hear?
yeah. You know, nothing like a nice light breezy shirt to get things going. You're chopping up a little bit. I don't know what happened.
Hold on one second. Let me see if it's my earbuds.
Off to a great start. Thanks, StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard is
Okay, how am I now?
Being weird.
Am I good now?
I think you're there.
Okay.
I think I can hear you.
Okay, it might have been my earpods going out.
Oh man, laggy, but that's okay. You know, we're here. Yesterday I did some grilling and chilling. I cooked a big rack of ribs and drank too many beers. It was great. What about you? Did you do anything for the 4th?
Oh, we just had dinner with my parents and then just
Nice.
chilled inside. Yeah, because we didn't feel like staying out too late.
Oh, yeah, it did not seem like I don't know, not feeling it this year, but I was feeling ribs, so I grilled some ribs, which was great. What's up, everybody in the chat? How you guys doing? Happy summer. It's hot, but I hope you guys are staying cool, having some fun, watching some good movies. Today, we're just chilling and talking about the things we've seen recently because I've been so busy. I just finished off a show. I have 6 weeks off before I go back to Boston for Dead City Season 3. Big shout out to everybody who watched Dead City Season 2 and saw all the hard work that me and my teams put into that. So I appreciate y'all for checking that out. But where should we start? Chase, what did you watch recently that's just been, hasn't fallen into our episode, but has been a fun movie that just was rad or not good? Who knows?
One I watched about a couple weeks ago in theaters was 28 Years Later, which
the return.
It is incredible. Actually, last Sunday got to record a guest spot on a new horror podcast called Strange Diamonds. Make sure to check them out. It was fun. We got to talk about the whole movie. So that episode should be out soon. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna try and keep it as spoiler free as possible. But it's one of those movies. It really grew on me more after I watched it. Like when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, this is good. Not great, but this is good. But then like when I started thinking about it more, when a lot of the themes and kind of subtle commentary that was placed in the film, like it was like I was like when it kind of like came up to me later on, I was like, this movie was actually really brilliant. Like,
oh no.
Uh-oh.
What is happening today? I do not know. We were having some crazy technical difficulties today. Do you want to pop out and then pop back in and see if that resets your connection?
Yeah, let me do that.
I don't know what is going on. Just at the good part, he was going to tell us how good 28 Days Later were. Yeah, when we got into StreamYard today, it was like being real cranky. It didn't have our background. It didn't have our intros. I had to like reset stuff up. I don't know, like when an app is like, I'm gonna reset, we're gonna update, and then it messes everything up. Boo. So terrible. But you know what? Technical difficulties aside, we're still gonna figure this out. All right, hey, there you are.
Okay, test.
No. Test. I can hear you. I can kind of hear you. You seem to be there. You're muted, but you're there.
Now. We good?
Oh man.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. All right.
Let's test.
Let's pick back up. Tell us about 28 Years Later.
Okay. Are we good?
They say it sounds and looks fine. So
okay. Yeah. Really good film. It was one of those that once, everything kind of set in after I watched the movie, I was like, this is actually a really brilliant film. I'm actually going to go see it again tomorrow morning. So I'm looking forward to it.
Second watch.
Oh yeah.
Do you find that you go see movies multiple times often?
Depends on if I love it or not. It's one of those things. If it really sits with
Hmm.
me, and there's a lot that
The movie that I saw most in theaters was Blade 2, which was
nice.
crazy. I saw that 9 times in theaters,
See, my most
which was a
personal.
lot.
Can you hear me now? Are we good? We good? Okay. Um, okay. So yeah, my personal best is like between Long Legs, The Substance.
Oh, no.
Wait, let me do something real quick. Let me switch my microphone. Okay. Test.
Test.
Okay, you can hear me?
I can hear you. I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to. I don't know what's going on with this today. I guess I'm gonna have to check this out. But
I don't know, man. I'm blaming StreamYard because it was being weird before.
it was.
You sound good now though, and it's working.
So yeah, actually, let me do something even further. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, we're good.
we're good. Let's rock.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna use my camera microphone, so that seems to be working today.
Yeah, man, weird. I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe there's a solar flare, but hey, yeah, you do seem to see them a lot. I missed what you said, but it's like you seem to see things like if you like it a lot, you go see it twice. But like, I wish I had that ability to go see movies more often. But yeah, when I was in high school, Blade 2 comes out, and I kept going to see it because it was like, hell yeah, this movie's rad. I had never seen like violence like that in a movie, but I was also like just starting to date. So like it was a perfect place to take somebody for a date. It was like a good scary movie. Yeah, I was digging. Yeah, Blade 2 I saw 9 times. What is the movie you think you've seen most in theaters if you had to think of it?
See, my personal record is 3, and
Okay.
each one I know I saw Star Wars: The Force Awakens 3 times.
Yeah.
That came out in 2015.
I saw that twice.
I saw Long Legs 3 times.
Whoa.
All in a span of a week.
That's a lot, man. It's so fun though because it's like, yeah, it's when you have a 4-year-old though, you watch movies on repeat constantly, and it's funny because like now, like if somebody's like, "What's the movie you watch most in your life?" and it'd probably be something like Pulp Fiction or The Thing, but like now it's like Disney's Frozen. Because
Moana 2.
yeah, Moana, a lot of Frozen, Mulan. I mean, my kid just watches stuff on repeat. Luckily, I got her into Star Wars. Now she's like, let's watch Empire Strikes Back. And I'm like, I can handle this. I can do that. But it is it's been a good year for it. So 28 years later. So here's the spoiler that I want. There's a moment where they showed this rig of like 1 million iPhones filming around a zombie. Is there like bullet time in the movie?
There's a lot of chaotic shots and quick cuts. Of course, that's how it is in the other 2 also. I rewatched 28 Days and 28 Weeks prior to going, and it's like a lot of chaotic shots. And the same thing with that. There's like a lot of quick, chaotic, just frantic shots, quick cuts, and honestly kind of adds to the anxiety of the film. And it's one of those mild spoiler alert, but not too much. Don't go into this expecting a straight up. Okay, so I would say 28 Days Later is definitely more along the lines of kind of like it kind of tells the story of the survivors bonding, and it also has like a bit of zombie horror in there. 28 Weeks Later is just straight up zombie horror. Like that's what you want, nonstop action. If you want nonstop action, zombie horror, that's the one. This one, it's like part zombie horror, part adventure story, part coming of age story. The lead of who you think's going to be the lead in the film isn't the lead.
Great.
I'll just let you know that.
That's wild. It's it's high on my list because I really did like the first two. I like the second one actually better than the first one. Just for weird reasons. I thought that it was more polished in a way that I really appreciated. Certainly looked better. I know the first one is a pioneer of digital cinema, shot all on mini DV for that grungy look. But the creatures are so scary. I mean, the rage virus is definitely like such a great update to zombies, and it blew our minds. So I'm always interested to see where they go. And I've always said this about post-apocalyptic films and zombie films in general: is like, how do you evolve in the third film? How does a franchise evolve? Walking Dead has been going on for 11 years, and they've never figured out how to keep a society running longer than a season, because that isn't, for some reason, isn't fun in that genre. If the people aren't miserable and near death, if they've figured out how to protect themselves, you're out of that genre. Now you're in Little House on the Prairie. So the genre in its own right has to always be on the brink of disaster. So I'm very interested to see how they keep things moving. And like you said, like if they figured out a stability of a society and whatnot, then yes, an adventure film, a travel film, hey, we got to get from point A to point B for reasons is where you have to go. So it'll be need to check that out.
They have a very interesting take on that. I'm not going to go into detail. Just watch the film.
Did you see the bomb of the summer, Megan 2.0?
No.
You haven't seen it yet. You didn't see it.
I was going to.
Yeah.
I remember like we were all talking about it, and I remember Patrick Mediate, good friend here,
friend of the show,
like, he pretty much came out, was like, I'm gonna be honest, the trailer looks absolutely terrible. And he's right. Like,
I mean, it's funny because Jason Blum came out this week and was like, I guess audiences didn't want a genre shift. And I'm like, I think that could be true. That absolutely could be true. It definitely, like, it was such a departure. And on one hand, I'm like, look, I like it when people swing for the fences. But when people already were like, Megan 1, which was a huge hit, and I really liked it, was like, it's barely a horror movie, which I disagree with that statement. But a lot of the criticism that came to that movie was, I think a lot of people also just didn't like that it was campy, which, again, I love me some campy robots. And it was so fun. And I think the second one just leaned into it too hard. And also, like, the trailer tried way too hard. I don't know. I hear it's fun.
I've heard very divisive things on it. I've heard some that's like, it's turn off your brain fun. And I've heard some say this is so upsetting because, I think Megan had potential to kind of, I think a lot of Gen Zers, you mentioned it on a few weeks ago when we had Kelly Maroney, that like really Gen Z, they really attach to stuff like Minecraft and Five Nights at Freddy's because, like you said, all the IPs that they get now are just recycled from previous generations, like Ghostbusters, like Batman, like trying to think of another one, the Marvel stuff,
even Star Wars. I mean,
Star Wars. Yeah. And it's just really like truly the original stuff they have that's huge is Minecraft and Five Nights at Freddy's. And I think trying to turn Megan into Terminator and making her, trying to do the T2 thing, making the robot villain from the first movie, making her I think Gen Z really got robbed of having really their first like original movie horror icon.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are probably would say, oh, Freddy, I find that's Freddy's, but that's again based off a video game that they played when they were kids, where Megan was an original idea, an original character created, and I just kind of feel bad that they kind of got robbed of that horror icon.
And I think if your movie's about to jump the shark, you get to do a huge genre switch and just have fun with it. But like, I don't think this was ready to slam dunk it like that. Yeah. And again, I hear it's a fun movie, but not what you want it to be. If you were like, hey, let's make her scarier this time or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows how to appeal to audiences. Disney came out on their social media this week and was like, basically like throwing the middle finger up and was like, audiences don't go see original films, and yet you cry about not getting to have original films, about their bomb Elio, which was a massive failure for them monetarily.
But again, it was poorly marketed. They marketed it like shit.
Here's my question, though. Well, first of all, the movie made $49 million, which your problem is if your movie makes $49 million and that's a bomb, there is a problem. Like, where are you spending that money where $49 million is a bomb? If I made $45 million in 2 days, I would be ecstatic, but they spent too much money to make a movie.
Yeah.
And look, I work in animation and I know it's very expensive and it's hard to do. And Pixar is a very pricey company to animate at, but like, man, $49 million didn't make your money back. There's a problem. So Elio's poorly marketed is what I'm hearing a lot of people say. How do you market to people when everybody avoids advertisements? I don't watch terrestrial TV unless I tape it or DVR it or whatever. I go to the movies and I might see a trailer beforehand, but when I pop in a Blu-ray or I go streaming, there isn't any ads. And everybody's like, well, what about on your phone? And I did get a lot of algorithms for Elio on my phone, but I didn't watch them. Swipe as soon as I could because I don't care. I don't need an advertisement right now. I'm not going to be you can't sell me shit. So then everybody's like, I didn't even know this movie came out. Wait, Megan 2 came out, but it's like nobody's looking for trailers anymore. Nobody's putting that date on their calendar.
Oh, see, I saw marketing everywhere for Megan 2.0.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I
YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, TikTok, everywhere I'd look, I'd always see an ad for Megan.
You got hammered. Yeah.
The marketing wasn't good. It was just, I mean, I'm trying to say this with trying to be nice. I think.
Be mean, Chase.
I think with the first Megan, it was so successful because that had a good marketing. It had a really good marketing tactic. Like, it showed the trailer, it showed the funny moments. It's like, oh, look at this doll dance. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Graveyard. So yeah, we're going to tread lightly because we don't want to tarnish your hard work. But yeah, marketing's a tough place for movies right now because nobody wants it.
Honestly, I think the movie tried too hard to lean into the silliness.
They winked at you really hard, right?
Yeah, I think they were trying a little too hard at that. Like,
it really is. If somebody tells you a joke and then literally goes and gives you that big wink, and you kind of go, huh. I feel like that's what happened. Is the movie came out winking at you so hard, and you kind of went, oh, yeah, all right, I'm okay there. I don't know. I will see it at some point. I will.
The one I liked was the very first one they did, where it was like Megan walking behind kind of like it's like a purple light behind her. And she's like, I'm back, bitches. Like, I thought that could have been fine. I thought that was actually a good marketing tactic. I was like, oh, hell yeah, she's back. I think really the problem is, I think they got too confident in the film and thinking, oh, she's kind of, I know Jason Blum said in his quote, they looked at her as like, oh, our Superman. Yeah. And he's like, I think they should have waited a couple more movies if they wanted to kind of take that action route.
Also, it's like you could have tricked people into seeing it, and then if the movie was good, people wouldn't have cared. You know, if you trick people into being like, here's this movie, but we're not going to give away too much. They also gave away a ton of it. We saw her in her new costume. We saw her slinging jokes. We saw all of that in the trailer. And if that's not your vibe, you're immediately out. But if you had kept it mysterious and had her still be creepy and teased us into it, then you got people in seats, and then they go, oh, wait, this is an action comedy. Oh, it's kind of fun, though. I'm having a good time. And I don't think people would have cared that hard if you had gotten them there in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of upsetting. I mean, who knows? It might be one of those, they just play it by time and it eventually makes money. I mean, we saw that happen with a Pixar film that came out a couple years ago called Eternals, where the first couple weeks people are already writing it off like, oh, this is a bomb. Like,
Yeah.
I forgot Pixar's Eternals. And it's one of those that people are already writing it off, but it was one of those things where Disney kept putting stuff on TikTok about it, and people would just gradually see it and end up making money towards the end of its theatrical run. They just actually just waited out instead of giving up on it 2 weeks, throwing it on streaming.
I mean, and streaming's wild. I really do hope we get out at, like, if we get more of a theatrical window where it's like it stays in theaters and it's not going to go to streaming right away, because I don't know, it's looking grim. I finally saw Bloodlines. I saw Final Destination Bloodlines Thursday, and I loved it. It was exactly what I wanted from a Final Destination movie. The intro premonition at the not the Space Needle, at the Sky View is what they call it. It's the Space Needle, but not. And it is in the 50s. I was like, what an interesting setup. What an interesting scene. It was so chaotic in a great way. There are people dying left and right. It was just gnarly, and I was here for every moment of that. Loved it. And then all the deaths, all the kills, the characters were really well done. That's hard to do. But I was obsessed with this movie. And then, of course, the send-off to Tony Todd was poignant and very, very, very well done. So overall, like, man, great movie. You were right all along. I never doubted it that it was going to be fun, but I was always worried that's like, how are you going to keep this series relevant when it's like they've done it? It's like, not only did they come back to it, but they tied a lot of it together and had a lot of like good nods to, the logging truck and the roller coasters and things like that, which is super great. Grimmsburg, somebody brought up Grimmsburg. There was a Megan episode. Grimmsburg is John Hamm's like cartoon detective show. It's pretty funny. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's on Hulu, which has solar opposites and stuff, which is really fun if you guys are into adult animation. Here, I'll throw up the picture of what that is. Bam, that's Grimmsburg. Apparently, it's a Megan episode. I don't know.
Seen that.
I don't know if it's official.
I've seen that advertised on Hulu.
Yeah. I love solar opposites, and they're like, look, this is where I get my advertisements when I watch that show. But yeah, Final Destination was so good. Man, every one of those deaths was spectacular. Yeah, got me every time. Like, faces exploding, lawnmower. I've had a lawnmower accident. I am missing part of my big toe on my right foot. Yeah. I won't show it on a stream, but like if you hold them up side by side, it's just a slightly bit shorter. It was gnarly. I was mowing a lawn, and I was trying to kick clumped up grass off the side of the ejector, and the ejector broke, like the little plastic that protects you. My foot went right in there. And I was like, man, I could have lost a foot. And I started walking back to my house because my shoe is all torn up now. And then I'm like, oh, it's hard to walk. Oh, I'm feeling woozy. And then my mom came around the corner and found me like crawling. I was like, Yeah. If I had paid attention to the wind chimes, I could have avoided that. Thanks, Graveyard Drifter. Right? That was death coming for me, but I stopped it, and now I'm cursed forever. God, Final Destination is so fun. The MRI machine, man.
That's my favorite death. So great. So great.
So good.
It's out on available to rent on VOD now, right?
Yeah, I got it on Fandango Home, it was the cheapest way to get it without buying it. I just wanted to rent it.
Let me see how much it is on Fandango Home for everyone out there.
$9.99 on Fandango Home, and then it's like $19 if you buy it from Amazon Prime or something like that. But it was worth it because so fun, so good. I mean, and awesome way to tie the past to the future. awesome callbacks. My only complaint that Tony Todd was just kind of like, sayonara, because he had such a great scene, and then instead of coming back later in the movie, or even he was just kind of like, packed up my boxes, I'm going to go through this door. And then even the characters are like, you're gonna listen to that guy? Where did he even go? He just went through that door. Like,
But you know, it's one of those things. It's kind of a beautiful scene because he had wrote the scene himself.
It's amazing.
It's
amazing.
Because again, he knew he was sick. He knew he didn't have much time, and he wrote it kind of as a goodbye. And you know, it's one of those things. When I first watched it opening night, you know, I was like, oh wow, he did so good. Then when I found out like the story that he knew what was coming, he knew he was passing away soon. He wrote the scene himself as like a goodbye. When my partner went to go see it, when I went to go see it the second time, like during a scene when he was speaking, it was just tears were just streaming down my face.
Because you had told me he wrote it, so I'm watching it, and I was like, you know, my wife's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Why are you growling? Why are you? Does your tummy hurt?" No.
My partner looked over at me and he was just like, "You good?" He's like, "I thought you saw this a few days ago." I was like, "I did." Like, it just hit me.
What a legacy. I mean, Tony Todd was just such a legend and just so good of an actor. I mean, in the Night of the Living Dead remake, Candyman, iconic. And then just all his amazing cameos. Anytime he popped up, you're like, oh, it's Tony Todd. Sweet. Just freaking great. I loved it when he would just pop up in a movie. Hatchet, like, he's just great. Come on.
Yeah, Hellfest, anything. It's just like,
I love Hellfest.
Yeah,
he's the best part.
Better.
Yeah,
He just makes a movie better just by his presence.
Yeah.
There's one I saw last month.
Yeah, what was that?
Fantastic. Dangerous Animals.
Shark movie
from Shudder. The way I describe it is if you instead of if it's Wolf Creek and where Wolf Creek takes place in the Australian outback, this takes place in the Australian Ocean. It's great. It's a great serial killer horror. It's a great shark horror. Definitely check that out. Like it has Jai Courtney or Jay Courtney. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah,
Jay Courtney. Who was one of those that it seemed like in the early to mid 2000s, there was just like this whole group of actors like Hollywood really tried to put in all their big blockbuster films just because they were relatively handsome and were shredded. And I feel like Jai Courtney was kind of put in that where it's like, oh, you're relatively handsome, you have abs, you're the new leading man of the new Terminator movie.
Yeah, he's the new Terminator movie. Yeah.
And it was just one of those where he was just in those roles. And I just didn't, I didn't really think much of his acting. Theo James was another one. It was just like, oh, you're handsome, you have abs, you're the lead in Divergent. Like, and
oh my God. Yeah.
And just like really Theo James showed how great he is in The Monkey earlier this year. And
Theo James, you vaguely look like a Franco. Get in a movie. He does look like a weird lost Franco brother. Put him in a movie.
And Jai Courtney was kind of that same. Oh, you're handsome, you have abs, you're the new lead in this $100 million movie. Where I feel like if you weren't impressed with his performances and previous stuff, Dangerous Animals, he was absolutely outstanding and stole every single scene he was in. Just phenomenal.
They're saying his name is pronounced J, like the letter J, and then Courtney.
Jay Courtney.
No, okay. Wait. Maybe it is Jai. J-I-E. J? Oh, man. I'm going to have to figure this out. It's driving me nuts. Click on this video. How do I pronounce his name? And it's like, here's an ad. No. See? Skipped. I'll never know how to pronounce his name. Sorry, Jai. Jeremy Renner. Um, that's an old joke. I'm excited about this movie because I love shark movies, and usually in July I'm watching every shark movie I possibly can. But I don't know. This year's weird. My favorite shark movie. I'm going to plug this. I plugged it in the past. My favorite shark movie. Actually, shark films are coming up. We're going to do shark films in next month. It looks like we have an episode
Heck yeah.
scheduled. But my favorite, like, hidden gem shark movie. Obviously, it's like the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Jaws is the pinnacle. There's a movie called Bait, and it's an Australian film. It's also called Bait 3D, but it's about people trapped in a grocery store that got hit by a tidal wave. So it's flooded. So everybody's on top of the shelves, and there's some Mako sharks in there. And it is awesome. It's most shark movies are stupid, and it certainly has its dumb moments, but it is so fun and has enough fun with it that I'm like, I am here for this shark adventure. And it also has, like, there's some bandits who are shooting up and robbing the grocery store just as the water hit. So then you don't know who's a bad guy, you don't know who's a good guy. Oh no, there's sharks, and I'm like, this is great.
Actually,
so highly recommend.
Also, just has an actor we just recently lost. It was just announced yesterday. Julian McMahon, Australian actor from Nip Tuck. A lot of us would probably also know him from the 2005 Fantastic Four film and the 2007 Rise of the Silver Surfer
Doom,
sequel. Yeah.
Dang, yeah. I just found that out this morning. I was a big Nip Tuck fan. That show was wild.
And of course, as a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, I need to mention this. Of course, a couple days ago, we also just lost Michael Madsen, who has appeared in so many of his movies. So many.
Yeah, he's been in so much stuff. I mean, Kill Bill, obviously Reservoir Dogs. He was having a tough time though. I worked on the show Powers that he was in, and he was having a tough time even then. Yeah, poor guy. But he was good in so many things. Oh my gosh. There's a show that nobody saw. It's called Big Time Hollywood, Florida. And he's in it as the grizzled detective. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it. Jason Alexander's in it. Lots of big names are in it. And it is, I think, one of the funniest shows that ever existed. It's 10 episodes. It was one season, and then it got canceled. But it wraps up, and it's about these two idiot brothers who want to make a movie. Oh, Ben Stiller's in it. They want to make a movie, and their parents are like, "We're kicking you out of the house." And they're like, "What? No, if you kick us out of the house, we're going to get addicted to drugs." So then they get kicked out of the house. So then they have to hire one of their actor friends, played by Ben Stiller, to pretend to be their drug dealer to make their parents feel bad. But then the cops think it's real. So the cops start following them around, thinking that they're going to lead them to some big drug deal. And the whole season is about them getting wrapped up in this massive FBI Colombian drug lords, while the whole time they think they're just making a movie. And like Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in their movie all of a sudden called Monkey Largo. Sorry, it's absolutely bonkers. But Michael Madsen's in it as a detective. Yeah,
Keith David's in it too.
Yeah, Keith David getting his own star on the Walk of Fame.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just announced this week. Keith David was going to be on the Walk of Fame, which is so good.
Good for him. He deserves it.
Well deserved.
That's another one who's been in so much.
His family tricked him into watching the ceremony because he was like, "I'm not going to that," and because he didn't know, and they were like, "Well, you should watch it. Your friends are going to get a star on the Walk of Fame," and he's like, "Okay, fine," and he watches it, and then they announce his name, and he's like, "Like, that's great! What a fun reveal!" Speaking of fun reveals, we got something in the mail. Yeah.
All right, Aaron,
shall we do this
first? Yeah, let's do it. Of course, Mike,
producer Mike.
Yeah, one of the many minds behind Block of Horror. Went to Japan recently and brought us back some gifts. So yeah, I got mine open. Let's see what we got.
Godzilla something. Oh my God, it's so wrapped up. What is it? What'd you get? It's so tight. It's wrapped.
Tiffany. As many of you know, I am a huge fan of the Chucky franchise. Oh,
it opened even more. Oh, it's a tiny Godzilla prize ball.
yeah.
I got a mini
I got.
Ghidorah.
Oh, it's so cute. Hold on. So, as many of you know, I am a huge fan of Chucky. Of course, behind me, I'll let you guys see. I have the Chucky family right there. So, oh Lord, I did not mean to have my camera on that high.
Right up your nose. Yeah, Mike. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you, Mike. So let me get mine together and I'll show you guys.
This is fun. It's a little. He went to Japan and came back with some fun little toys, and this is amazing. This is
so as you can see, I have Tiffany.
Oh heck
from
yeah!
Bride of Chucky.
What up, girl?
This is awesome. Well, it comes with accessories too. So it comes with a little mini wine bottle. As you know, the scene where she throws the wine bottle at the mirror ceiling.
Yeah, all the glass rains down, killing those guys. And that's great.
Also comes with a mini shovel. Well, thank you, Mike.
Does it come with the heart of Damballa?
It does not. But yeah, so I can have her holding the shovel, or I can have her holding the wine bottle. So cute.
That is sick.
See, let me see yours.
So it's the Smog Monster Hedorah. He is Godzilla versus Hedorah. He is a deliciously bizarre little critter. And yeah, this is a little miniature guy, and he's got arms and little pieces. I got to figure out how to fit these arms together. Puzzles are not my forte. we have puzzles at work. We have a whole table of puzzles, and I'm like, I don't know how to figure it out. And everybody's like, come do puzzles with us. And I was like, my patience. There we go. I figured it out. Maybe I am a puzzle guy. Yeah. He's a smog monster. And if you guys have not seen Godzilla versus Hedorah, it is one of the trippiest Godzilla films, because in the middle of it, it just turns into an animation, and the smog monster's taking like bong rips from pollution smokestacks, and then he turns into a big flying like frisbee monster. I kid you not. It is one of the most bananas things I've ever seen. And you're just like, I don't know why this is a thing, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think we talked about it during our Godzilla episode we did. One of the first episodes we did whenever we switched over to live stream. I think we did that in November of last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, Godzilla versus Hedorah, I think might have been one I had watched and we talked about, and I was just like, trippy. What the fuck is this?
It's so weird. I love it. So
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, it is. Man, this is fun. So coming up, I am going to watch Sinners, which is now out on streaming. So that is on my list of things that I must to see that thing. I have been dying to see Sinners since it, was going to be coming out, and it's been on my list. I was so bummed I didn't get to see it in IMAX, but better late than never, right? So I'm going to finally see that this weekend. And
I didn't get to see it in IMAX either.
You didn't?
No, I got to see. Okay, so what was it? I saw it once in like just kind of your traditional theater, and then I saw it again in Dolby, AMC Dolby.
Sick.
So that was AMC Dolby was incredible, but yeah, I cannot wait to hear what you say about this film, because like it's still to this day my favorite film of this year so far.
Really? Your favorite film of this year? That's high praise, man. somehow he has a stand that you can build, but I haven't figured that out yet. Little Hedora. Anyway, we'll set that aside. I won't distract myself. Yeah, I'm so excited for Sinners. I have a huge list of things I need to see, and they're all coming out on VOD finally. So we'll be ready to watch. Marshmallow has been on my list. I wanted to check that out. Did you see Marshmallow?
I didn't. What is Marshmallow?
Seemed interesting. Seemed like a horror movie that starts out as like a camp movie, like a summer camp movie, and then turns into, like a horror slasher killer movie.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check this out now. I have not. This is the first I've heard of this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's on my list. It's coming out VOD soon, so I'll be checking that out.
It's out now.
Sick. Well, then go and watch that. I just got the text. Time to go get the kiddo. So guys, for summer, what movies do you guys want to see for our shark? In the month August 5th, we're going to be doing some shark stuff. So come check that out. And next week we have Brianna Morgan on. She's going to be an author. She's going to be on the show talking about adaptations. So movies that were adapted from books into horror movies, which is super exciting. She's going to be a great guest. We've had a slew of great guests. Later next month, we have the Craft Witch herself will be joining us.
She'll be on in 2 weeks.
Yes. So very excited about that. And the 26th, we're off. I'm going to be in San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con. So come check me out there. If you're in San Diego, you're coming to Comic-Con, come check out my panels. Friday night, we are doing Ghostface Killer Trivia, where the voice of Ghostface calls in to do a horror trivia session with everybody, which is super fun. We have a great time every year. So check that out. Chase, any more plugs?
Yeah, so of course, see me here every Saturday on Half Hour Horror with you, Aaron.
Yes.
You can follow me at Oh Hey It's Chase on Letterboxd, Instagram, Blue Sky, I guess X if you still want to follow
if
me.
You're still there, X. Yeah.
And at Oh Hey It's Chase on TikTok. Oh Hey It's Chase _ on TikTok. And if you love physical media, I showed you this earlier, Aaron.
Let me see the Criterion.
Criterion is currently having 50% off sale, which I took advantage of. So I got Uncut Gems, Pan's Labyrinth, Dazed and Confused, Bound. Of course,
sick.
You know, I'm a huge Jennifer Tilly fan.
Yes. Bound is one of her best.
Yeah. And Blue Velvet. So, yeah, if you love physical media and you're able to do it, you definitely take advantage of Criterion sale. Everything 50% off.
Elinka says there's a horror movie in the making in Texas. 20 girls missing from a church camp. They got flooded. Ooh. Well, we will hopefully there's a happy ending to that one, and we can make the horror movie the fantastical, scary ending. Sorry it was short today, guys. The technical difficulties abound, but you know what? We'll get them worked out. StreamYard will get them worked out, but we'll see you guys next week, and we will have a freaking fabulous time with Brianna Morgan, the author, next week. So yeah, everybody have a great one. Happy Saturday. Have a great weekend. Get in some vacation mode yourself and watch some good horror movies. Till next week. It's a Half Hour Horror. Oh, we got to give away some blood coin.
Yes.
We got to do that. I got this right here. Nope, not Curse.
That was last week.
That was last week. This week, what's going to be?
Sinners. If you have HBO Max or Max, whatever they're calling it this week, check out Sinners. It's incredible.
I'm going to be doing it next week. I'll let you guys know what I think. But until then, go to Block of Horror Discord, open up a ticket, type in Sinners, and get yourself some blood coin. Until next time, guys, it's been great. Have a good one.